Right guys, in today's video I'll be comparing the latest Xtreme G driver versus the latest Nvidia driver 536.67 versus the Xtreme G version of 536.67. So guys, these drivers have been requested for me to test. I just want to say, going ahead, I'm not going to test the Xtreme G drivers anymore, and you'll see why. I just find them to be an absolute waste of time, as well as them being a bit of a flight risk. You never know what somebody could have put in these drivers. They are modded, so I'd actually recommend stay away from Xtreme G drivers. But at that, it's going to be a short video. Let's get into the results. So I only tested over 13 games in this. All my games were tested at medium settings except for the new heavier titles like Ratchet and Clank was on low, Remnant 2 was on low, Dead Space Remake was on low, and then everything else is at medium. Returnal's also on low with FSR set to balanced. And then where FSR 2.0 or 2.1 was available, I used a quality slider. As you'll notice, all these games are single player games. I have finally installed PUBG and Warzone, but those downloads only finished last night, so I didn't include them in my benchmarks. But going ahead, I will be including Valorant, Warzone and PUBG in my future driver comparisons. So guys, let's just get straight to those results. 536.67 wasn't a terrible driver, but it was a step down from 536.40 in terms of raw performance. So over the 13 games, my total FPS was 917 divided by 13, so my average FPS per game is 70.53. Not the best, but not the worst. And then same thing with the 1% lows, add up all the 1% lows, and my total 1% low over 13 games for 536.67 was 637 divided by 13, so my average 1% low per game is 49. When I divide the 1% lows by the average FPS, the stability percentage for this driver over 13 games is 69.47%. So it's not the worst driver, but definitely not the best performing driver, which makes me even more angry with these Xtreme G drivers. You don't know what the people are putting into it, you don't know how they're modifying the driver, and it's got less performance. Let's just call it, I'm not even going to go through the whole rigmarole. Total FPS, so the average FPS was higher, average FPS per game was 71, but the 1% lows was shocking. When you add up all the 1% lows, the total 1% low over 13 games was 627 divided by 13, so my average 1% low is 48.23. Not a massive drop in performance, but it makes you wonder, why are these people even requesting videos about Xtreme G drivers, and why are people modifying these drivers where you actually lose performance? So guys, you want my recommendation, stay away from Xtreme G drivers. I'm not going to do a video on them again. They're an absolute waste of time. They could be a flight risk. You could be downloading viruses. I don't know. I haven't had one, but it seems like a virus to me that I'm getting less performance. So just on that metric alone, it makes no sense. You have to jump through extra hoops to load the driver, but then you're still getting less performance. It just doesn't make any sense. So when I divide the 1% lows by the average FPS, my stability percentage for the driver over 13 games is 67.93%. So you can see 536.67 wasn't a great driver by any means, but the stability on that driver was 69.47%. And then the Xtreme G version of it, you really think the Xtreme G will be a better performing driver? It's not. The stability percentage on that for that driver over 13 games was 67.93%. So you can see that's almost 1.5% drop in stability. High average FPS marginally, much lower average 1% low. Doesn't make sense. So guys, last time, if you want my recommendation, don't recommend Xtreme G drivers. Stay away from them. They're extra hassle to install. You don't know what's in them, and they perform worse. So there's no point. And that's me. I'm not going to do a video on these drivers again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button. And as always guys, if you're new to the channel and you find this video helpful, please consider subscribing. Other than that, have a fantastic day. It's people like you. Cheers.